So right now on the Nakamura, we are switching between making pivot screws and our LBS screws. I've got one in the sub right there. The Torx end mill broke, so I'm putting in a new one. And I like to indicate these for run out because they last so much longer when there's no run out. So I've got a Hymatech 3-to-1 speeder. This thing spins at 18,000 RPM. Rigofix collet in there, Lakeshore Carbide 20 thou end mills, Mitutoyo 1/10 indicator, and we're just going to measure run out on this. So I've just got milling. I'm going to spin it really slow. And there's my run out. You can see the needle jiggling. I'd prefer to spin it a little bit slower, but that's the easiest way to do it. That's totally acceptable to me. Like a 1/4 of run out, nothing to complain about there. Good to go. Now I will touch it off. So here's what I got on the knack right now. Playing with a hard-hinge ID collet holder right there. Anyway, live tool, thread mill, drill, probe, parting blade, spot drill, live tool, pill bottle, drill. I'll rotate the turret here. Got a double stack, the big radius, and then the small radius. So my rougher here and my finisher there, with my sub turning over there. Here I've got my ID threading tool, which I'll change out bigger or smaller depending. And then this is from Omni Turn. You'll like these for your lathe, for your Tormac lathe. So I've got a fat grooving on the back and a threading on the front. So these are the parts I've been making lately. The lock bar stabilizer on our knives. Got about maybe close to 200 in here. Did a good night run last night, which was successful. That's always good to see. And the boys are here. Hey! So after much delay and not getting around to it, we're finally cutting those pearl inlays for number 1000. I've been working on these, or meaning to work on these for months now. It's good to finally get back to it. Let's get that out of the way. I'm very excited for it. We got a new GoPro Noga mount here. Super happy with that. Sky just had to come up with a little adapter here. I love that. There'll be a video about that. And okay, so that's tight. Yeah, good to go. Let's do it. So instead of testing on the mother of pearl inlay, we're gonna try on a glow-in-the-dark inlay, just a cheap piece of scrap material we had left over, just so we can test out this new tool path, make sure it's all good, so we can see it through all the coolant, and make sure we like it. And make sure that the blue tape method works really well, which so far it seems to work awesome. All right, so these are the inlays we've got. Sky is getting them prepped with the blue tape method. So we did a glow-in-the-dark piece, and it worked super duper well. The tape came off great. So basically the theory is tape on your fixture, tape on your part, super glue them together. And so we picked the 3 inlays that we liked. We picked the side that we like, because like, look at the difference between those two sides. I mean, that's cool, but I want them all consistent, and we'll all go for that. This material is so crazy. And then we're just using super glue. I think Saunders has updated his website with a better glue and a better tape actually that he likes. Card here if Aaron remembers to put it in. All right, so flip it, show me. You got your tape, pretty simple stuff. So simply put, I'm just gonna put a liberal amount of glue there. Worked fine last time. I'm going to try to orient the part in the top corner without gluing my fingers together. and get it down. Ideally we'd clamp it for a while, but whatever. I mean, you could use like a plastic grippy, clicky clamp or something. Yeah. I think I got it. Huh, maybe I went too fast. So for this one piece, or the 3 pieces actually, I'm just going to step down in multiple layer heights, and it's going to not be very difficult at all. Before we were just doing 1 layer height, like the finish here, and it popped off, so can't have that. So let's reset and try again. And where'd it go? This guy figured out, he's already got it taped on, that we made it like that, but if you flip it 180, we can do it again. So I like that. Very cool. Okay, so that took a lot of material.
There's a cut right there.
Yeah.
That took it. So yeah, maybe reduce that in half and slow the speed down to like 3 even.
Yeah, and do multiple.
Yeah, it'll take a while, but this is not an easy material to cut, so.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like shale.
Although it's not the material that's failing, it's the glue that's failing.
Yeah.
Or the bond, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's the tape or the glue, we don't know yet, but the tape, I guess.
Would coolant be degrading?
If it gets underneath it, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's just a huge cut, right? With a 2-inch
yeah.
face mill and 5 inserts, it's just banging at it.
Yeah.
So this time we're stepping down multiple layer heights. Should work way better. So basically, I don't like this. I don't like how this is going. This is not going well. Chip there. There's like, I don't know if you can see in this camera, but there's like a wedge out of the top that's chipped right off. The top surface is all chippy. The corner round is kind of chippy. I was going as gentle. I mean, I could go more gentle, but stepping down light, stepping sideways light, it's still, I think it's moving. I see a little bit of mismatch with the center pocket profile and the corner rounder, and I think it's just jiggling around, and I don't like this. And I'm running out of pieces. I have 3 good pieces left, and I have 3 inlays to make. I don't know if this is going to happen. This knife might have to not get pearl inlays. We might have to make something else. I don't like that. I can keep trying. I can go more gentle. Okay, maybe it's the face mill. It's a 2-inch face mill. Coming across, I mean, it leaves an insane finish. Maybe I just need to go lighter on it, but maybe it's too aggressive. Maybe I need a sharper tool to make dust not chips. Less tool pressure. Back again, fourth try. Rather disappointed again. I can't get this. I think I got to throw in the towel, at least with this method. So 2 things are happening. The part is flying off the tape, for one. I think the coolant might be not super happy with the tape, or the tape's not happy with the coolant. It's been a long day. And the material's chipping a little bit, although this one's really good. But also I think the material is moving a little bit because I've got my 2 parts. I try to fit it in here. It should fit back in that corner, but it's not. It's not going in all the way. So the material is deflecting just a little bit, even with light cuts and everything, so it's just not working. I did do a post on Instagram just now and got some good feedback. Saunders has upgraded his tape and his glue to something that works way better, he says, so I'm gonna have to get that eventually. Obviously it's not gonna work for this project. So I think it's time to plan B on these inlays. Eric and I had some other ideas, so we'll see what happens, but kind of disappointed for a Friday night to have to go home to failure. But whatever, I mean, that's the process, that's the life. I'm disappointed, but I'll get over it and I'll move on very easily, and I'll do something even cooler next time. So anyway,
Alright, so here I am in the post-blade show mess and post-new machine mess. But yeah, what you just saw was John, he tried a new tape method for inlays, and it worked on glow in the dark, but when it came to pearl inlays, he did not have a good time, and he got very sad about it. But hopefully we got a new set of those, so we might try it again with a different method, we'll see. And next up, we'll have some updates with Norseman 1000, which is about time we finish that one. So yeah, check in next time for that, and eventually for blade show footage. It's gonna be great.